Good morning and welcome back to Money Talks. I'm your host, Glenn Wiggle, here with Mike Lomas, and we are the Financial Guys. This is the show where money meets politics, and we're going to talk a little bit about both again today. We have some special guests on the show today. We're going to be talking about elder care planning, so you're not going to want to miss that towards the latter half of the show. But for the beginning of the show, we wanted to talk about some of the stuff that, of course, happened throughout the week. We had a great Wednesday session, multiple sessions, actually. So thanks. I want to thank everybody who came out to our office. We did economic updates or economic forum with one of our CFAs, John Thur. We had a noon, a 4, and a 6 o'clock session. About 160 or so people through the office for those sessions. And we're going to make that available for replay, audio replay on our website at financialguys.com. So look for that coming up this week if you want to chime in and hear it. This week, of course, a lot of the news centered around the border wall discussion. The president gave his 8-minute address, which I thought was good. You had Herman and Annette Munster give the response.
That was, I'll tell you
Just
what,
standing
that
there?
was classic. Like Schumer's got that look on his face like he's a miserable old man. Like,
remember that picture with like the famous pictures, like a farm picture with a pitchfork?
Pitchfork, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Identical.
All I could think of.
Identical.
So.
You know what's wrong with these Democrats, by the way? You know, for years, Obama, Clinton, all of you said, you just can't stroll across our border. Now, because Trump's in office, apparently it's okay to stroll across our border.
Right.
How ridiculous is that?
It is.
I mean, you mean to tell me, I don't care what party you're affiliated with, it's okay for a drug dealer to walk across our border without any type of consequences? Shame on you. Shame on every single one of you.
And that's where I thought President Trump did a good job, is he laid out a lot of those statistics, 250,000 arrests, here's some of the crimes. He did a good job, I think, on laying a lot of that out.
Yep.
And then the funny part was, not funny, but I guess the sad part was the Democrats get up for the rebuttal and they say, we're going to combat all the fear-mongering with facts.
Not one fact.
Not one fact.
Not one.
Not one fact that they come back with. They just basically went, look, here's the thing. If they came back and said, look, he cited this statistic, this is incorrect, here's the actual number.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're not even refuting the numbers. So the hundreds of thousands of arrests, the murders, the gangs, the human trafficking, the drugs, look, 90% of the heroin and opioids and fentanyl come from our southern border. It's sad that almost every one of us now knows somebody who's been affected by opioid addiction or has died, sadly, from a heroin or some other sort of overdose. A lot of those drugs come from our southern border. And I think that we need to continue to focus the spotlight on the fact that we have to shut the southern border. Democrats are apparently okay with lawlessness. Because,
well, it's funny because they're totally against a wall now, but Barack Hussein Obama bought a house in Chicago, right? Put a 10-foot wall.
No, in D.C.
Around,
that's the one. In Chicago,
yeah,
but the D.C. you're talking about.
Yeah, he's got a house in Chicago and D.C.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking he was poor. Shame on me.
Wrong.
So he buys a house in D.C., puts a 10-foot wall around it. Well, the argument was, well, he didn't put a 10-foot wall. That's what some of the neighbors said.
Yeah.
So a reporter thought, you know what? I'll go check it out, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what? Not only do they have a wall around their house, they have a wall around the neighborhood.
Right. Couldn't even get down the street.
So and it's a concrete wall followed by a fence, followed by people with guns.
Yes, right.
Wow. So Barack, apparently you and your family are more valuable than my family because, you know what, I don't know, are there a lot of middle-class people that can afford to put multiple barriers around their neighborhood? Probably not. You can, my friend, and it seems to be just fine for you. It seems to be just fine for the Clinton family who owns 10 homes, but not for the rest of us who say, I want to be safe at my border.
Right.
And don't think for a second, by the way, the volatility in the stock market, part of that continues to go back to that wall. The wall, the Fed, and trade.
Yep.
I'm a big believer in safety. If you don't have a safe environment, you don't have positive economic growth. Go ask the east side of Buffalo how much economic activity is happening this weekend. Right. Not a lot.
Not a lot. And shame on the Republicans for, honestly looking at it and saying, well, this is no problem at all. There's no issue here at all. And then they come out and they say, well, it's hurting the American workers. They're not getting paid. Yes, there are some folks that are furloughed not getting paid.
Yep.
Yes, that's frustrating. Here's the difference, though, is all those people will be paid back while they're not working. They're going to get all the money for not working. They'll eventually get paid. Kate Steinle's family is not getting Kate back, right? That sad police officer that was murdered the day after Christmas, his family's not getting him back. all of those kids that were murdered or
how about the ones that died of a heroin overdose?
Not getting them back.
Of which came over that Mexican border.
Right.
Not getting them back.
They're not getting them back. So to compare that I think is a real shame. The last thing I will say is that, you know, Ocasio Cortez comes out and she gives her rebuttal.
She's a beauty.
Oh man,
she's a beauty.
She is.
Look, I have actually disposed of old shoe boxes that have.
Oh my God!
In her.
But the sad thing is, she comes and says, "Wow, yes, we lost somebody who was killed on day after Christmas, but a child died on Christmas Day." Now look, it's always sad when a child dies. That child, however, was not murdered by ICE. Okay, that child was dragged 2,000 miles across the desert by seemingly their parents, and sadly, children die. But the child wasn't murdered. The police officer was. And the police officer was murdered by somebody who should have never been in this country.
That's right.
How many people would still be here?
We could have stopped
That's right.
that.
How many people would still be here had it not been for that person being in this country illegally? Ask yourself that question. And so as this debate rages on and you have this conversation with your friends, I hope you'll keep it in the context of the people that are dying in this country from the drugs and the things that are coming across this border versus people not getting paid for 3 weeks.
That's right.
Huge difference.
Huge.
All right, we got to take a very short break. If you need us throughout the week, of course, we do manage money for a living. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back. 633-1515 is the office number. Don't forget, use our website as a resource, financialguys.com, and follow us on Twitter at FinGuys and like us on Facebook. We'll be right back. We got more to come here on Money Talk. Stay tuned. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Money Talks here on WKBW. Again, I'm your host, Glenn Wiggle, here with Mike Lomas, and we are the Financial Guys, the show where money meets politics. Don't forget to tune in this afternoon on WBEN from 1 to 3, and stay tuned here. We have a special guest coming up in just a little bit. But before I get to all that, I want to go ahead and throw it over to 2 cents with Rochelle Tadaro, or Rochelle Tadaro's 2 cents, however that goes.
Juana, something like
Close enough.
Hey guys, it's Rochelle over here. Just wanted to give you an update. So, this past Wednesday at our offices, we had the economic update with John Thur. As most of you know, he's our chartered financial analyst, and we had 3 sessions because it was so important with all the volatility to get our clients and anybody else who wanted to attend to come in and kind of ease your mind about what's going on in the markets right now. I just want to take a quick minute to give you some of the comments we had from this past week's presentation. So one client said, "Impressive presentation, informative, confirms why we are with you." Another one says, "I agree. John is the smartest guy in the room." So I'll just let you know a little tidbit. Mike and Glenn always introduce him as the smartest guy in the room, so this confirms it. Great class, very comfortable with my investments with the Financial Guys. Just glad I came to this update. And finally, John's presence and experience was excellent. Mike and Glenn added a sense of comfort and explanation that was very positive and reassuring. Thank you for scheduling this informative seminar. So we just want to reiterate that these are educational. We just want you to come in, get some great information. So go to thefinancialguys.com. There's the schedule right there. Our guest coming up with Mike and Glenn in the last few segments will be Roxanne Sorensen. She's going to be in our offices this coming week on the 16th, and she's going to be giving information on elder care guidance. Listen to what she has to say in the last couple segments on this show here today, and then come in and learn more about it next week. You go to financialguys.com/academy to register, or give us a call, 633-1515, and we have a lot more seminars there scheduled, so go right to thefinancialguys.com to see what they are, and I'll throw it back to you guys.
Thanks, Rochelle. Appreciate it. I wrote that last one.
The last one, how great Glenn and I were.
Yeah, that was good looking, the whole thing. Yeah.
I knew there was an extra one in my pile.
Tried to slip that in there.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk elder care as the show progresses here, and nursing homes, but a lot of market volatility over the last year, right? We've had markets up days, down, up 1,000, down 1,000 points. Look at, I continue to say this: focus on Fed policy, trade policy. I think Trump will win the art of the deal with China, and follow the wall. I mean, safety, trade, and the Fed. Those are the 3 things we're watching. I will say in our office, our portfolios, we're rebalancing. We're trying to take advantage of the volatility. I continue to say there's things that you cannot control. Cannot control the stock market, cannot control interest rates, you cannot control who's in political office, but you can control how you respond to these negative periods. And you need to make sure you've got a proactive plan in place and you take advantage of it. And that's what we do. I tell our clients, we can't control the stock market, can't control the bond market, we can't control that. We can control how we react to that. And we want to be proactive. We don't want to go into a shell.
Absolutely.
Small baby changes along the way will make you successful down the road.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that we notice a lot is that folks that are coming to our office that are not clients but coming from other places, other firms, are really finding out what kind of risk they have with their portfolio. And that's the thing, I think something that a lot of people for the last 8-10 years, there's not been a lot of down markets, and so people didn't realize that maybe their portfolio got out of whack, or maybe they didn't realize how much risk they were really taking. And then we go through this period where we have a correction and people all of a sudden realize, wow, I didn't realize I could possibly be down that far. So if you'd like a review of your portfolio, if you'd like us to take an x-ray of that and run it through our software, we can very easily in about 5 or 10 minutes plug all that data into our computer system of your existing holdings and give you a score and tell you exactly what your downside potential might look like and what's your probability of being down, what percentage might happen. So if you'd like information on that or you'd like to come in for that review, again, please feel free to use this as a resource. Call us at the office, 633-1515, again, 633-1515. You can always ask us questions as well and use our website as a resource, financialguys.com. And again, you know, there's a lot of great TFG Academy workshops coming up over the next several months, starting this week with Roxanne Sorensen. She'll be our special guest when we come back from this upcoming break. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that with Elder Care Solutions. You've got Money Talks here on WKBW with the Financial Guys. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back to Money Talks here on WKBW. Again, I'm your host, Glenn Wiggle, here with Mike Lomas, and our special guest, Roxanne Sorensen with Elder Care Solutions. So thank you so much for joining us, Roxanne. We appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks for having me.
You do a lot of different things. So let's just jump right into kind of a list of the different things that you can do. I get a lot of questions from even the different advisors in our office, like, what can Roxanne do for me and my clients? And I'm like, wow, that's more than I can even tell you. So maybe if you can just start with, you know, what Elder Care Solutions is and some of the services that you offer.
Well, we're an aging life care specialist company, so we're nurses and social workers who provide a comprehensive assessment of your loved one's needs. So we're looking at their finances, their medical, their safety, their environment, and their psychosocial needs. So when you say, what can we do? We can put in-home services, anything from home care, putting an aid in place, putting pill dispensers in place that are delivered right by a pharmacist, setting up transportation, going with your loved one to a medical appointment. You never want to let someone go to a neurological appointment by themselves, especially if they're starting to get a little bit confused. Right. We know today it takes 10 minutes in the doctor's office and you're out. Well, if you have an advocate, you're going to be able to spend more time with that doctor. Right. We also do a lot of placement. As we've talked in the past, I do placement in anywhere from retirement communities to assisted living to nursing homes. Everyone just assumes my loved one's going into a nursing home.
Right.
Don't assume.
Now, we have an estate planning department at our office. You've worked quite a bit with Tom Canavo, and if people need a will or a healthcare proxy, they would use Tom as a resource. But unfortunately, a lot of people wait till the last minute, especially when it comes to a nursing home. You know, that's the kind of thing that people will always say, it's not going to be me, or you know what, next year we're going to do this, the next year we're going to do this, and then all of a sudden it is the next year.
I think it sneaks up on you. What happens is things are going fine, things are going fine, things are going fine. Mom has a fall, you know,
not fine.
Dad has a, not fine. Right. And now you're in the nursing, or you're in the hospital, and the doctor's saying they can't go home. They got to be placed somewhere, and it's the oh crap moment. What do I do now? Where do I even start?
And you're making the most important decision while you're emotional. You can't do that. And most of the time the children don't know the finances. This generation did not share their income or their assets. You might find a pot of gold or you might find nothing. So when you're looking for services, and it just doesn't have to be nursing home, what kind of money do you have? It costs $23 an hour to put an aid in. And then nursing homes are $13,000. So where in that spectrum do you lie? So we're their advocate. So I had a family call today. They don't want to have me meet with mom or dad yet. They want to just meet with themselves, talk about the problems. They want to pre-plan. Dad is 87, mom is 76. What is the next step? They want to be ready.
Right,
I don't get those calls very rarely. I get those panicked calls.
Right. Yes.
Christmas Eve, they flew into town. Mom and Dad are a mess.
Right.
What do we do? I'm only here for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, and that is from a personal story. If I could just share this for a second. I mean, this has happened to our family, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, my uncle, who's 80-something years old and had been living on his own all his life, no kids, no wife, no family outside of my father and my mother, and I'm an only child, so a very small family on that side. And all of a sudden, you know, he's going fine, he's doing fine, everything's fine, he's living on his own, he's driving, everything's going well, and then same thing.
Bottom falls out.
Bottom falls out, and next thing you know, he's in the hospital.
Right.
And my mom's calling me going, oh my God, Glenn, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know where to go. We can't, do we take him home? The doctor's saying we got to release him at 4 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock now. You were able to not only put my family's mind at ease, which I forever am thankful for,
You're welcome.
but you're also able to place him in a fantastic retirement community. So not a nursing home, but an assisted living, because that's all he needed.
Right.
But on top of that, you're able to access other benefits that we weren't even aware of
We
to
got
make
him
it
the
happen.
veterans benefits that most people aren't aware of, so that helps pay for his care at this assisted living. He's doing great. We've also gone in for your parents and checked on him because they're out of town.
Right.
So we've been able to make sure what he's saying, and he's a little confused.
Right.
So he's saying he's very lonely, he's not getting services. Well, we go in, we double check, we report back. So we're your eyes and ears.
Peace of mind.
It gave your mom and dad a great peace of mind, and then they can be in touch with us as often or as little as they need.
One of the things I wanted to ask you when we come back from the break is some signs that maybe some of the children should be looking for.
Okay.
I mean, and then, like when it comes to a skilled care facility, I think, like that's something that I wouldn't research. You know, you just don't research until you need to research it.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not
it's
there
hard
if
to
you need it.
understand, like you see, oh, this one's rated good, and well, this one's rated bad. And I think, well, who rated that?
Right, exactly.
I'll be honest, I hate the ratings.
Right.
I will tell that to anybody, even the nursing homes. I don't agree with the ratings.
But if you're in the industry and you know all the facilities, you know all the directors, you know all,
Absolutely.
it's just like us in the finance business. It's not like it's rocket science.
Right.
You know, it's not brain surgery to do financial planning, but we know all the investments. We know that we know the business.
And we have
Just
to
like you know
market
your
these
business.
people.
Hold
You
that
have
thought.
to market them.
We do have to take a break. What's your phone number, by the way, if somebody's looking to get in touch with you?
823-1476.
All right, perfect. All right, very short break, folks. We come back, we're going to have more with Roxanne Sorensen, Elder Care Solutions. Stay tuned. You've got more to come here on Money Talks. Good morning again, and welcome back to Money Talks. Again, folks, if you need us throughout the week, we do manage money for a living, 633-1515. If you want to find out more about our services or find out more information about some of the companies that we work with, like Elder Care Solutions, again, go to our website, financialguys.com. You can find out all kinds of information there, as well as some of the partnerships that we have with the different professionals that we work with. And so we're in studio today. We have Roxanne Sorensen.
One other thing I want to plug too, obviously we manage money, financial guys, but we also have an independent Medicare office. Yep. If you're turning 65 and you need help, use us as a resource, 633-1515. Before the break, I was asking you, we always tell people to, of course, try to pre-plan, right? Pre-plan your estate. Get your will done. Get your healthcare proxy done. We have Tom in our office, an attorney, a state attorney that can help. Unfortunately, as we said, sometimes it sneaks up on you.
Right. They stop planning.
And
That's
then,
it. They're
and
done.
then all of a sudden the bottom drops out, as Glenn says, and then they need your help. What do I do, right? Are there things that we should be looking for, and whether it's grandma or grandpa or mom or dad, to say maybe it is time to?
Well, even when they come into your office, if there's the son or daughter starting to say, mom's starting to seem a little confused. If it's out of the ordinary, maybe she has an infection. A simple upper respiratory infection, it's cold season, a flu season, that can cause dramatic changes for somebody. They may stop paying their bills. If the pile of utility bills is on the counter and it's for 4 months, there's something going on. There's a problem. Those are some triggers. The house is disheveled. She or he are disheveled. There's a lot of ways of looking at it, but we ignore those things because we're so used to seeing the same thing over and over again. Look at it from fresh eyes. That's because when we walk in, we're looking at everything. We see that dishevelment. We see the stack of mail. Mom is more confused. I'm not asking yes or no questions. Engage your loved one in more than a yes or no conversation, even if they're long distance. Be able to have know the answer to the question you ask and see if they can answer it.
Yeah.
How do you know, though, like, so let's say that, mom or dad's getting a little confused. I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And, how do you know at which point they need care?
What you should do, I always recommend a baseline, go to a neurologist. We send a lot of people just for a baseline. It doesn't matter what age they are. At least then you have a starting point. They don't have a cognitive impairment. Now all of a sudden things start changing. And then if mom and dad are functioning, they're eating okay, their weight's staying the same, they're taking their medication supposedly, they're fine. If you start to see now the medication's been in the dispenser for 3 straight days, they're not answering the phone as rapidly as before, they're starting to not move as quickly. It's time to start looking at what those changes are, get a medical appointment, a neural, and then bring us in.
Neurologist is a good place to start.
Absolutely, always a neuro.
I'll tell you, the segment before we talked about you being able to match people up with certain facilities, and you understand I guess the back office support there. That's so important. I had an uncle that was in a nursing home, and the nursing home he was in was out in the South Towns, but it was such a great fit because he sort of felt like all the staff was friends.
Right.
They were his friends.
Their family. Yeah.
Right. And they became family to us.
Yes.
I mean, but the other thing was the proximity of where he was located. I mean, I can't imagine if he was located in Batavia how difficult
and
that would
that
have
can
been
happen.
for my dad and my mom and me and everybody trying to go back and forth. But on top of it, it was a great match because he felt like, that was the saddest day for us. I mean, leaving him there, going on, but we came back and he was joking with the staff.
He was thriving.
He was,
so you're more upset than he is.
Yes, and it was like I remember the second time I went in, he was joking with staff, and I could see a smile on his face. So I thought, wow, I mean, we just felt better.
Real quick, your phone number one last time before we have to go.
823-1476.
All right, folks, if you need Roxanne at Elder Care Solutions.
She'll be at her office, by the way, for a workshop.
Wednesday. Don't miss that. Call our office, 633-1515. You can also go to our website, find out more information about TFG Academy. But if you can make it out Wednesday, don't miss it. Have the opportunity to come in to our TFG Academy. On behalf of Mike Lomas, I'm Glenn Wiggle. We're the Financial Guys. We'll see you next week here on Money Talks.